Congratulations. After all that planning, dreaming and scheming, buying your preference points, you have finally drawn that coveted hunting license. Let the countdown begin. We have a few suggestions to help you in your preparations and ultimately to add to the success of your hunt.
Let's take a few minutes and visit with you a little bit about your upcoming trip and the equipment list and the type of equipment that you'll be bringing to Wyoming for your upcoming hunt. So at S&S, we've developed a tried and true equipment list over the last 40 years of outfitting. A lot of the stuff on that list may not be needed on your particular trip, but if we have the wrong kind of weather, you'll really wish you had it. So take a few minutes, read the equipment list, make sure you acquire or buy everything that's on that list, and please try it out before you come here. Make sure it fits, make sure the batteries are operational and a rangefinder, your headlamp, that sort of thing. And pay special attention to your boots. So you can get into a situation where we can have snow any day, anytime. No, it doesn't matter if you have a September antelope hunt or a November hunt, you've got to have good snow boots with you. And all your boots need to be tested, wore, and tried out before you get here. We had one of our guides a few years ago, he was preparing for a sheep hunt, and of course he had waited over 20 years to draw the sheep tag in Wyoming. And on his hunt, he had a pair of really well broken boots that he had used for a number of years, and he had a pair of brand new boots. Well, he opted to bring the older boots that he'd had for a number of years because he didn't have time to break in his new boots. And over time, that stitching that keeps your sole on the boot had been rotted out from using waterproofing. So what happened is on his sheep hunt that very first day, both rubber soles of his boots had fallen off during that sheep hunt, and he ended up killing a beautiful ram, but it could have been a really catastrophic trip had he had to go more than just the one day for his hunt. So pay attention to those type of things. If you have any questions at all, be sure and call our office or send us an email, whatever the case may be, just so we can get those questions answered. And please do it well in advance of your trip, especially on a year like this. Equipment's hard to get a hold of, equipment's hard to find, so you could have a difficult time rounding it up. So pay special attention, get it early, and then call if you have any questions. Thank you.
Well, if seeing Mr. O'Leary's busted up hunting boots does not motivate you to break in your own new pair, I don't know what will. In addition to going through your equipment list from S&S Outfitter and Guides, your guide is going to want you to shoot. Please become familiar with both your scope and your rifle prior to your hunt. When it comes time to pull the trigger, it's mission critical that you are familiar with the ins and outs of your equipment and are able to make a good, clean, ethical shot. Do not miss this step in preparing for your hunt. We are all aware that there is an ammunition shortage in 2021, and we'd like to remind you to secure the ammunition that you need for both your practice shooting and the hunt itself as soon as possible.
Hi, my name is Zach with Wyoming Gun Company. I'm here to talk with you guys a little bit about hunting ammunition, kind of the shortage and what's going on with that right now. So right now, as we've all kind of noticed, that ammo is pretty difficult to get a hold of. This is kind of our hunting ammo section here, and as you can see, it's pretty scarce. So with ammo, it's going to be a little bit before it gets back to normal, steady levels. With that, what I recommend is if you can find the ammo you need, get it early. I know prices and stuff like that can be a little tough as well. They're definitely higher than what they used to be a year ago, but if you guys can afford up to 3, 4, maybe even 5 boxes of this stuff, that's what we would recommend you get, just because you don't know when it's going to be available again. And not only that, but if you guys need to do some practicing, re-zeroing rifles and all that kind of stuff, it's good to have extra. So kind of on a side note, we do offer a full-time gunsmith here. He's here from 10 till 4:30, Tuesdays through Saturdays. He can do pretty much anything for you that you need done with your rifle. He can mount scopes, bore sight, just give it a good once over to make sure that everything still functions properly. So if you are coming in from out of state, we definitely recommend you come visit us down here at Wyoming Gun Company, so he can take a look at that, and maybe we might be able to even get you fixed up with some ammo.
Speaking of preparation, it's time to get your most important piece of equipment ready, your body.
Hi guys, my name is Michael Music. I'm a guide with S&S Outfitters. So I'm just going to kind of give you little tips and some pointers to kind of help that hunt be a little bit more enjoyable. So first and foremost, we'll start our mornings on horseback. And so if you haven't ridden a horse before, you're going to notice that it's a lot more physically demanding than people think. You're not just sitting on the horse and the horse is doing all the work. You're actually using a lot of little extra muscles, especially stabilizing muscles, to stay on the horse and to stay active, that by the end of the day, you're going to be tired, you're going to feel fatigued. A few things that you can do to kind of help out with that is like push-ups is a good thing to help you get that strength to pull up onto the horse. Do a couple air squats every now and then. Do a set of 20 or so air squats, 30, whatever it is that your body is good for, and just kind of build off of that. That way you can build your leg strength. That way you can stay inside your stirrups. Sit-ups are a good thing. You use your core a lot to stay balanced while you're on a horse. And all of that stuff will just help you not feel as fatigued whenever we get on the horse. While we're looking for these animals and we're scouting around, and then we find either your trophy mule deer, your trophy elk, or whatever it is that you're trying to shoot at that point, we are going to get off the horse and we're going to have to do a little bit of hiking. And so you don't only have to focus on your conditioning to be on the horse, but you also have to focus on the conditioning of getting from point A to point B so you can shoot that trophy animal that you're after. And a lot of this is uphills. We have had hunters before that we've seen trophy size animals before, but because of their conditioning, we have not been able to close in and get to a distance where we could ethically and effectively make a good kill shot or something on that animal. So then we have to watch 300 plus elk, 200 plus mule deer walk away because we were just not physically conditioned to get up there. So my hope as a guide is that one, you do get that trophy animal, and two, that your physical ability and my physical ability isn't going to limit that. If you're conditioned enough already, you can go for runs. Go for a run probably anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. It doesn't have to be anything super far. You don't have to be some marathon sprinter or anything. You can go for a mile run, half-mile run, and just work on increasing your speed and just try to go a little bit faster every time that you go. If you don't feel comfortable with running or it just hurts too much, what you can do is you can just go for walks. And with those, focus more on distance. And the same thing, every time that you go out, the next time that you go out, try to do it a little bit faster and go a little bit further. If you don't have access to like a track or a field or something like that where you can go hiking in or walking in, and you have a gym membership, what I'd recommend is you spend a little bit of time on the treadmill and increase the incline. That way you can simulate walking uphill. So every single time that you go to the gym, go up 1 or 2 more steps on the incline. If you have access to a public park and they have football bleachers or soccer bleachers or something like that, practice walking up and down the bleachers. That way you can condition your legs of going up and downhill. People, they really underestimate the elevation that we have here, and that plays a big part in your conditioning. You can be extremely conditioned, you can run marathons and whatever else, and then you come up here and the elevation is like you've never worked out a day in your life. And so, but the more that you work out and the more that you are consistent with your physical activity, the less detrimental it's going to be whenever we're here. Another thing is just make sure that you're active and you just stay active, eat healthy, make sure that you're going out. Don't just expect that whenever you get here, things are going to be easy. You're going to have to work a little bit for it, but that's also part of the adventure. You don't want to get some trophy size animal and it's something that you shot out of the bed of a truck because you were just driving down the road. We want you to have a good experience. We want you to have fun. We want you to enjoy your hunt, and we want it to be memorable. So don't let your physical conditioning and everything else keep you from getting your trophy animal.
We're always looking forward to the upcoming hunting season and hope that you're doing your part to get ready too. Use your equipment list from S&S Outfitter and Guides, pack your gear, shoot your gun, get those legs and lungs ready for hiking in Montana and Wyoming, and remember, luck is the result of preparation meeting opportunity.